Have you ever felt the chilling silence? That gut-wrenching, heart-pounding void that screams at you from the other side of a text message that was never sent. Have you ever been pushed away by someone just as you were feeling closest? Have you given your all, only to be met with a wall of indifference, leaving you questioning your every move, your every word, your very worth? I want you to feel that for a second, that pain, that confusion, that desperate need for a crumb of reassurance that never comes. Now, I want you to take that feeling and I want you to transform it. Because what if I told you that this push-pull, this hot and cold, this maddening dance of distance and proximity is not a sign of their disinterest? What if I told you, with every fiber of my being, that this is their CRWFR help, this is the twisted, broken, and dysfunctional language of someone who is terrified of the very thing their soul craves the most, a real D-E-V-O-N-E-R-A-L-Con-N-I-T-H-E-O. They are not pushing you away because they don't want you. They are pushing you away TOCEFYL will STILBTRONTYFAL. They are testing the foundation because their entire life has been built on quicksand. And your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to become the UNBKBLE, IMOVABL Ras K in their stormy sea. For the next few minutes, you are going to get a masterclass in the secret psychology of the avoidant. You are going to learn the 7 hidden tests they deploy, and you will learn how to pass every single one, not with neediness, but with unshakable strength. The silence begins. It's not just any silence, it's a vacuum. It's a digital ghosting, an emotional withdrawal so profound you can feel it in the air. Your phone becomes a brick of anxiety. Every minute that ticks by without a notification feels like a personal rejection. Your mind, that magnificent but sometimes treacherous storyteller, starts writing scripts of doom. What did I do wrong? Are they with someone else? They must hate me. This is the first and most primal test, the test of patience. And right now, in this state of panic, you are failing it miserably. You must understand the why behind the silence to conquer it. This isn't the silence of a confident person setting a boundary. This is the silence of a terrified individual who feels the walls of intimacy closing in. The connection was getting too real, too deep. They felt a wave of engulfment, a loss of their fragile sense of self, and their survival mechanism, honed over a lifetime, kicked in. They create distance to breathe, to reestablish a boundary that they feel is being crossed. And in doing so, they are unconsciously asking one monumental question: if I disappear, will you fall apart, or will you remain standing? When you respond to the silence with a barrage of texts, is everything okay? Did I do something? Please talk to me. You are screaming your answer. You am falalina PR emotional stat is dependi or you are responses. You hand them the remote control to your inner peace. This confirms their deepest fear that intimacy is a cage, that connection means enmeshment and neediness. So how do you pass this test? You must become the rock. You must cultivate what I call a new and Wyvern frame. Your frame is your personal reality, your core set of beliefs, your emotional center of gravity. It cannot be shaken by external storms. When the silence comes, you do not chase, you do not panic. You acknowledge the shift in energy, but you do not collapse into it. You stay centered. You literally have to change your physiology. Stand up straight, take a deep breath into your belly, and put a slight smile on your face. Not because you're happy about the silence, but because you are accessing a state of certainty. Your actions must then reflect this inner state. You live your life. You go to the gym. You dive into your work project. You call a friend and have a genuine laugh. You post a picture from your amazing life that has nothing to do with them. You become a gravitational force of positivity and purpose. The silence then becomes your ally. It is the space where they get to feel the full weight of your absence. It is where they start to wonder, wait, why aren't they freaking out? Why are they so fine? This disrupts their entire worldview. They expected chaos and received calm. They expected pursuit and found poise. This doesn't mean you become a cold, unfeeling statue. After a period of you maintaining your frame, a few days perhaps, you can send a simple, light, and non-needy message. Hey, saw something that reminded me of an inside joke and thought you'd get a kick out of it. Hope you're having a good week. That's it. No pressure, no demand for a response. You are simply re-establishing a connection point from a place of strength and abundance, not lack and desperation. You are demonstrating that you are patient, that you have your own world, and that their silence did not break you. You have just shown them that your love is not a chain that binds, but a foundation that supports. You have passed the first test. This is a devious one. This is where they often unconsciously will poke at your soft spots. They might make a backhanded compliment about your career, subtly compare you to an ex, or become vague about future plans. They might flirt with someone else in front of you or make a comment that questions your value. It feels like a personal attack. Your ego flares up, your insecurities get triggered, and you want to either lash out in anger or crumble in self-doubt. But you must see this for what it is, the test of authenticity. They are probing the walls of your self-worth to see if they are made of solid stone or cheap plaster. They are creating a crisis to see how you handle it. An insecure person is a threat to an avoidant because their emotional volatility is terrifying. They need to know that you are solid, that your sense of self is not built on their approval. When you react with jealousy, anger, or need for reassurance, you fail the test. You prove that you are not the secure, grounded partner they desperately need you to be. You are showing them that your core identity is up for negotiation. So, how do you pass? You must operate from a deep, unshakable sense of self-validation. Your worth is not determined by their words or actions. It is an internal fact as solid as the law of gravity. When they make a comment designed to provoke, you do not take the bait. You observe it with a sense of detached curiosity. You might even agree and amplify. If they say, "You seem really invested in this relationship," quickly, instead of getting defensive, you smile and say, "Yeah, when I see something I like, I go all in. It's one of my best qualities." You have taken their subtle jab and reframed it as a strength. If they are vague about the future, instead of pressuring them, you state your own boundaries with calm confidence. "I understand you need to figure things out. For me, I'm looking for a passionate, committed relationship, and I know I deserve that. I'm happy to give you the space you need to see if you're on the same page." This is a game changer. You are not punishing them. You are simply stating your truth without anger or neediness. You are showing them that you have a high bar for how you expect to be treated, and you are perfectly willing to walk away if that standard is not met. This is incredibly attractive because it shows immense self-respect. You are communicating that you are a prize to be won, not a beggar hoping for crumbs. You are proving that your emotional world is not a chaotic storm they have to manage, but a peaceful kingdom they are privileged to visit. By not reacting to their provocations, you pass the test. You show them your true, authentic, and secure core. You become a safe harbor, not another storm. This is the classic avoidant trap. You express a normal, human desire for connection, wanting to see them, missing them, hoping to make plans, and you are met with a wall labeled, "You're too needy," "You're too intense," or "I need space." This accusation is designed to make you feel crazy for having basic emotional needs. It is a masterful projection. They are the ones feeling engulfed and needy, but they project that feeling onto you to create distance and relieve their own anxiety. If you take this accusation to heart, you will start to shrink yourself. You'll stop texting, stop initiating, stop expressing your feelings for fear of being too much. You will become a ghost of yourself, walking on eggshells in your own relationship. This is how you fail the test. You are allowing them to define the terms of engagement, and in the process, you are abandoning yourself. The way to pass this test is not by becoming less needy, but by becoming more self-reliant. You must have a life that is so full, so passionate, and so compelling on its own that their presence is a wonderful addition, not a necessary component for your happiness. I call this having a thriving solo world. This world is built on 3 pillars: your mission, your body, and your community. Your mission is your purpose, your work, your craft, the thing that gets you out of bed in the morning with fire in your belly. Your body is your temple. You are training it, feeding it well, and respecting it through movement and discipline. Your community is your tribe, the deep, fulfilling friendships and family connections that nourish your soul. When you are fully engaged in building this world, a fascinating shift happens. You become less available. You're not playing games. You are genuinely busy living an awesome life. When they say, "You're too needy," you can respond with genuine confusion and humor. "Needy? That's funny. I've been slammed with this new project and just got back from an incredible hike with the guys. I was actually looking forward to some downtime this weekend." You have completely reframed the narrative. You are not the clingy partner. You are the sought-after, high-value individual whose time is precious. You stop waiting by the phone because you have places to be and people to see. You stop orchestrating your schedule around their unpredictability because your schedule is already packed with things that light you up. This does not push them away, it pulls them in. They see you thriving without them, and it triggers their fear of loss, a fear far more powerful than their fear of engulfment. They start to wonder, if I don't step up, I'm going to lose this amazing person. Your independence becomes your greatest magnet. You pass the test by demonstrating that you are a whole, complete person all by yourself, and any relationship with you is a partnership of two wholes, not two halves trying to become one. This is the ultimate paradox. Just when things seem to be going perfectly, they create a crisis. They might pick a fight over something trivial. They might devalue the relationship, saying things like, "You'd be better off without me," or "I'm not good for you." They might even attempt to break up with you. It feels like a sudden catastrophic rejection. Your instinct is to either plead and beg, "Please don't leave, I can't live without you," or to get angry and slam the door shut yourself. Fine, if that's how you feel, forget it. Both of these responses are failures. Pleading confirms their belief that they are a burden and that you are dependent. Anger confirms their belief that people are ultimately unreliable and will abandon them. So what is the move? You must understand that this is the test of loyalty. They are pushing you to the absolute edge to see if you have the strength and the commitment to hold the line. They are asking, if I show you the worst of me, the most broken, unlovable part, will you still see the best in me? Will you stay? The answer is not to chase them as they run away, nor is it to run away yourself. The answer is to become an imobleoatre. You stand your ground, rooted in your truth and your care for them, without being dragged into their storm. When they say, "You should leave me," you do not agree. You also do not desperately disagree. You look them in the eye with calm compassion, and you speak to the fear behind the words. You say something like, "I hear that you're scared and that you're pushing me away because you're afraid I'll hurt you. I'm not going anywhere just because you're having a tough time. I make my own decisions about who I want in my life, and I choose you." This is dynamic. You have done three things simultaneously. One, you have validated their underlying emotions, feared without agreeing with their destructive statement. Two, you have stated your loyalty and steadfastness in a non-needy way. Three, you have re-established your own agency. I make my own decisions. You are not begging them to stay. You are declaring that you are choosing to stay. This reframes the entire interaction. You are no longer the victim of their push. You are the conscious, powerful actor in the relationship. You are showing a level of emotional strength and loyalty that they likely have never experienced. It proves that your connection is not based on fair weather feelings, but on a deeper, more resilient bond. You are showing them that they are safe to be flawed and fearful with you because you will not bolt at the first sign of trouble. You pass the test by standing firm in the storm, proving that your presence is a constant, not a variable. An avoidant's greatest fear is vulnerability. To them, vulnerability has always meant danger. It meant being judged, criticized, shamed, or abandoned. So they guard their inner world with the ferocity of a dragon guarding its treasure. However, the human soul craves to be seen and known, so they will test the waters of vulnerability in tiny, almost imperceptible ways. They might share a small, slightly personal story from their past. They might express a minor insecurity. They might let a tear well up for a second before shutting down again. This is the test of safety. They are handing you a tiny, fragile piece of their heart to see what you will do with it. Most people fail this test by either trying to fix, "It's so you shouldn't feel that way. Here's what you should do." Two, making it about themselves. Sefs, "That's nothing. Let me tell you about my trauma." Or third, reacting with intensity, either positive or negative. "Oh, God, you finally opened up. This is so amazing." Or, "Wow, that's kind of messed up." All these responses are forms of judgment and make the avoidant feel exposed and unsafe. The key to passing this test is to become a known JDGML. Your only job is to listen with utter presence and acceptance. When they share that small piece of themselves, you receive it with quiet gratitude. You listen. You make soft, affirming sounds. "I see. Thank you for telling me that." You ask open-ended questions that show curiosity, not interrogation. "What was that like for you? How did that make you feel?" You avoid any and all advice unless they explicitly ask for it. Your goal is to make the act of sharing with you feel so safe, so effortless, and so free of consequence that they are tempted to do it again. You are building a track record of safety, one small confession at a time. You are proving that their darkness is not too dark for you, that their pain will not scare you away. When they see that you can handle their ugly parts without flinching, without trying to change them, and without making a huge deal out of it, they begin to trust you on a primal level. You are deprogramming a lifetime of fear. You are creating a new neural pathway that says, vulnerability with this person equals connection, not pain. This is how you slowly, brick by brick, help them dismantle their own fortress. You pass the test by being the safest person they have ever known. Avoidants are often drawn to what they cannot have. It's a perverse psychological truth. When you are too available, too eager, too accommodating, you become less valuable in their subconscious map. Your constant availability signals that you have no other options, no higher purpose, and that your life revolves around them. This triggers their engulfment fear and devalues you in their eyes. This is the test of value. They are assessing your market worth, not in a cold, calculated way, but in a deep, biological sense of assessing a mate's strength and desirability. To pass this test, you must master the availability paradox. The less available you are, the more available you become to them. This is not about playing hard to get. It's about being hard to get because you are genuinely caught up in a magnificent life. You have standards. You have a life that doesn't pause for them. You do not cancel plans with friends to see them last minute. You do not respond to texts immediately when you are in the middle of something important. You do not make them the centerpiece of your universe. You let your actions demonstrate that while you care for them deeply, you care for yourself and your mission more. This creates a healthy tension, a productive uncertainty that keeps them engaged and striving for your attention and approval. They have to earn a place in your world. When they feel they have to earn you, their perception of your value skyrockets. They start to think, this person is a catch. I can't take them for granted. If I don't step up, someone else will. This shifts the entire power dynamic from one of you chasing them to one of mutual pursuit. You pass the test by having such high standards for your own life that they feel lucky to be a part of it. This is the grand finale. The avoidant, feeling the relationship progressing to a point of no return, will often initiate a final shutdown. They will use the classic lines, "It's not you, it's me. I'm just not ready for a relationship. I need to work on myself." This feels like the end. It is designed to feel like the end. But for the awakened individual, this is the test of the future. It is the ultimate exam of everything you have learned. They are presenting you with their ultimate fear and asking you one last time, can you handle this? Can you see a future for me that I cannot see for myself? The wrong move here is to try to logically argue them out of their feelings, to try to convince them to be with you, or to collapse in grief. The right move is to hold a vision for the relationship that is bigger than their fear. You do this by you respond with grace and strength. You say something like, I hear you, and I honor your feelings. It sounds like you're really scared, and I get that. From my perspective, what we have is rare and real. I'm not going to try to convince you of anything, because you have to make your own choices. I know what I want, and I see an incredible future for us. The door is open on my end, but I'm also going to continue living my life fully. The ball is in your court. Then, you must truly let go. You must walk away not in anger, but in peace and certainty. This is the master stroke. You have accepted their reality without agreeing with it. You have stated your own vision with unwavering clarity. You have given them agency. And you have demonstrated the ultimate strength, the ability to walk away with your head held high. This final act of self-respect and faith is often the very thing that breaks the pattern. When they see that you survived their ultimate rejection, that you are still whole, still thriving, and still holding a loving space for them without demand, it shatters their core belief that they are unlovable and that relationships always end in pain. You pass the final test by loving them enough to let them go, and loving yourself enough to know you'll be okay no matter what. So, there you have it. The 7 secret tests laid bare. This is not a game of manipulation. It is a journey of profound self-mastery. It is about recognizing that the chaotic, painful dance you've been trapped in is not a sign of a doomed connection, but a desperate, coded cry for safety from someone who has never learned how to receive love without fear. Their pushing is not a rejection of you, but a reflection of their own internal war between the deep human longing for connection and the paralyzing terror of being consumed by it. Your role in this dynamic is not to be a doormat, a savior, or a pursuer. Your role is to become the unwavering, emotionally constant force that their fractured world has never known. It is to build a life so rich and complete within yourself that you become a beacon of what is possible, a life of passion, purpose, and unshakable inner peace. When you achieve this state, you stop reacting to their tests and start leading from a place of strength and compassion. Remember, every test, the silence, the provocation, the accusation, the push, is an invitation for you to step more fully into your own power. It is an opportunity to prove through your actions that you are different, that your love is not a chain that binds, but a foundation upon which they can finally, tentatively, begin to build a new understanding of what love can be. You are teaching them, through your consistency, that vulnerability is safe, that commitment is freeing, and that they are worthy of a love that does not hurt. This path is not for the faint of heart. It demands immense emotional fortitude. It requires you to look your own insecurities in the eye and conquer them. It asks you to cultivate a level of patience you didn't know you possessed and a level of self-love that becomes your guiding light. You must be willing to hold a vision for the relationship even when the other person cannot see it themselves. But if you can do this, if you can embody these principles not as tactics but as truths, you will transform not only the dynamic but potentially the person. You become the catalyst for their healing. And whether they step into that healing with you or not, you walk away as a new version of yourself, stronger, wiser, and more whole than ever before. The journey with an avoidant is the ultimate crucible. It forges you in the fires of uncertainty and forces you to find your certainty within. Take these 7 keys. Study them. Integrate them into your very being. Go forth and become the rock, the sanctuary, the vision holder. Stop chasing the butterfly and become the beautiful garden it cannot resist returning to. The power was never in changing them. It was always in evolving yourself. Thank you for having the courage to read this, to feel this, and to commit to your own growth. This is your time. This is your moment to claim the love and the life you deserve. Now, go out there and make it happen. I believe in you. Goodbye for now.